Welcome back, ghouls and gals. Today I just filmed an entirely different video. I'm so stressed out right now. I sat here and I filmed a 30-minute video just chatting about films, and my computer died and I lost all of my audio. So we're pivoting now, and I feel like this is the sign I needed to do Hotel Horrors Part 3. This was next on my list to do anyways. So today we are just gonna sit back and talk about some hotels, some inns that you shouldn't stay at. And the people who did stay at these places made some life-changing mistakes. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more. Check out all of my links down below if you'd like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. I do have a letterboxd list corresponding to hotels, motels, inns, Airbnbs, things like that. Places you go to stay that are not the comfort of your own home, which is where I prefer to be. So let's start off with number 5, and a film that I have not put on a hotel list, but I feel like it's time. The Shining. From 1980, Jack Torrance accepts a caretaker job at the Overlook Hotel, where he, along with his wife Wendy and their son Danny, must live isolated from the rest of the world for the winter. But they aren't prepared for the madness that lurks within. The first time I actually sat down and watched this movie start to finish was the day after I came home from the hospital after having radiation. This was a crazy time to watch this movie. I had radioactive iodine for my thyroid cancer back in 2016, and one of the things that had to happen after that was I had to be completely isolated from my family for over a week. Couple weeks actually, and until like the radiation levels weren't crazy, whatever, you know, if you know, you know. I had to be locked up in my bedroom on an air mattress by myself. I felt like Jack Torrance, and the day after I came home, I decided to finally watch this film, and I think it was a bad idea because it was a precursor to how I would feel for the 2 weeks following being locked up in my room. But let's move on to a film that was just unearthed and released on Shudder, starring Corey Feldman, The Birthday, from 2004. Norman, a young man very much in love with his girlfriend, attends her father's birthday party held in a hotel where something mysterious is going on. And if I'm not mistaken, this involves a cult. I have not watched this because I convinced myself that last month for Joe Bob's special, when we came back with Joe Bob, I thought that they were going to show this because it was just added to Shudder like a couple of days before the last episode of The Last Drive-In premiered last month, and I genuinely convinced myself that this was going to be the film we were watching with Joe Bob. It wasn't. It ended up being The Phantom of the Opera and Opera by Dario Argento. I was so wrong, but I really thought it was going to be this. So it's about high time we watched this film. But let's throw it back to 1979 and Dead Mountaineers Hotel. The police get a call out to a lonely hotel in the Alps. When an officer gets to the hotel, everything seems to be all right. But suddenly an avalanche cuts them off from the rest of the world and strange things start happening. This one definitely leans more sci-fi thriller. But moving on to 1960s, The City of the Dead. A young college student arrives in a sleepy Massachusetts town to research witchcraft, but during her stay at an eerie inn, she discovers a startling secret about the town and its inhabitants. This film comes just under 80 minutes, and you guys know I love movies that are under 80 minutes, a quick watch. And then finally, number 5, to wrap up and round out this list, The Last Inn from 2021. Laura makes an unplanned stay at a peculiar hotel and is trapped in a life-changing game. And speaking of game, I feel like I need to work on my next game horrors list. It's been a while since we've talked about that subject. I also have a list going. I I asked a few videos back if you guys would want to see a list on tourists or travel horror, and you guys definitely did want to see that. So I'm gonna work on that list. But on that note, I hope that you put something new on your watch list today. Pip Peep is now yelling because it's raining outside. He's yelling at the rain. Do you wanna repeat that? He's all talk until you put a microphone in his face, and then he wants none of it. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you've made it this far in the video. A list, a subgenre, an overarching theme, something that you want me to cover on this channel. I saw someone ask me to recommend weird horror movies, but I got you. I have part 15 of my weird, underrated, under-recommended horror movies coming out in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. Also, in the month of April, we are doing Body Horror Month, so get ready because that is one of my favorite subgenres. Body Horror Week, I should correct myself. Anyways, I have a needy guy down here wanting some pets, as you guys saw. So I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Sayonara, Spooky fam.